Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Russell's Rides coming to you from Beaky's Pub, which is actually my garage. But I wanted to show you something new since I uploaded a video, so let's get right to it. Okay guys, so here's what I got. A 2012 Ducati Monster 1100 Evo. So when I was looking for a Monster, I was actually looking for a red one. But this black one came along, and I gotta tell you, I think she's pretty friggin' cool. Shiny, 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 shiny black. Now, of course, I added a few little red accents along the way, just to kind of, I don't know, make the black pop a little bit. We've got some red brake and clutch levers. We got the brake and clutch reservoirs with the red lids. Some Ducati socks. A little bit of red down here with the rear brake cover and the oil cap, the oil fill. This bike came with a set of Termi mufflers, but I took those off, and when we go for a ride, I'll tell you why, but the bike just didn't work right. So I put the stock exhaust back on, and it's working much better. This bike has the single-sided swing arm, which I think is so cool. Brakes on this are awesome. Brembos on the front here. Double discs. Fully adjustable front shocks. It's got the single fully adjustable shock in the back. This has actually this is a two-seat, but it's got the cowl on here, so it gives it the illusion of single rider, which I think is really cool. This will probably always stay on. I don't know, I think the bike's a little small for two up, although it's more than capable. I put these guys on. They're tank grips by Tech Spec. They work really well. You get to hug the tank with your knees, and gives you much better control of the bike. Tubular frame. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of specs on this bike. That's not really what I do. I just like buying and riding used bikes. So we'll take this guy for a ride, and we'll chat a little bit more about it. This is a 2012 Ducati Monster 1100 Evo. And if you watched any of my other videos, you might have noticed that I tend to buy a lot of used bikes. And I'm pretty bad at changing bikes pretty quickly. So I've said it before, I'm like Jay Leno without the money. Most things, it's not. I don't sell them because I don't like them. I sell them because I see something else I like better. So the last bike I had that was new to me was a Ducati Hypermotard 1100S, and that bike was pretty awesome, but it was a trade I had done on a mistake I had made, a bike that I had a Ducati 1098 and it was just crazy for me. Very racy and just wasn't my kind of bike. So I traded a guy and it was, you know, a great trade. He did good, I did good. I liked the bike, but it probably wouldn't have been a bike that I would have gone out and chosen. So, you know, I liked it, but I thought this summer, I thought, well, maybe if I sell that one, I'll buy the Ducati that I really like. So I really like the Monster. Always have. Never ridden one, never even sat on one, but I just like the look of them. So I figured, okay, first things first, sold the Ducati Hypermotard. And it's actually not, it was a fantastic bike. I mean, an awesome bike. But sometimes Ducati is a little bit of a limited market. Like, people that like Ducati love Ducati and probably already have one. So trying to find a seller, or a buyer rather, for the Hypermotard wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. You know, I thought I'd sell that bike in a heartbeat. Now, I'm in a smaller market. I'm in, you know, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, and, you know, not a big population, so, you know, that limits your market as well. But it didn't sell as quick as I thought it would, but it did sell eventually, and I probably sold it maybe a little less than I would have liked. But I did okay on it, so I sold that, and then it was like, okay, time to shop for a Monster. And there were a few that I was looking at, but I had it in my head that I had to have a red one. Ducati just seems to scream, you know, red. Didn't really think of any other color. But this black one came along, and to be honest with you, at first it was part of somebody in the Ducati club was selling it, and I didn't even really give it a second look, only because it wasn't red. So anyway, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go look at it. So I went and looked at it, and it is really awesome. I mean, the black really was pretty cool. So the Evo, I think, came in red and black, but so it was 1100 cc, like I say, 2012. I ended up buying it from the guy, and to be honest with you, I kind of glad I didn't get red, because any event that I go to that has, you know, a few Ducatis there, they're all red, and you know, I'm kind of unique by having the black one. So, and you know, it gets a lot of looks, and I like that. So I did put a few little aftermarket gizmos on, just to kind of make it my own. And I wanted to throw a little bit of red in there so that it would sort of enhance the black. So like I showed you earlier, I have, you know, some of these sorts of things that I put on. But the big thing was, you know, this bike, when I bought it, came with a Termi slip-on, and you know, everybody raves about how awesome a Termi slip-on exhaust is, and you know, my understanding is the slip-on doesn't really change the performance too much. It's all about aesthetics, how it looks and how it sounds. And it did sound kind of cool, but the bike honestly seemed to run like crap. And it didn't make sense to me, because I don't think a slip-on needs to be, you know, changed with the ECU and you know, remapped or any of that. But I think they do, because anything below 4,000 RPM, it was like a sputtering mess. Like it was coughing and splurting, and you know, how do you keep it at 4,000 RPMs when you're, you know, going through a residential neighborhood in first gear, or second gear? So it was coughing and burping and backfiring, and you know, kind of sounds cool, I suppose, in a way, but to me it just didn't seem to be working right. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna put the stock exhaust back on, which the bike came with, and just compare the two. And I gotta tell you, almost immediately it was like, yeah, that's how this bike's supposed to work. It sounded good. It was like a nice rumble to it. I don't know if you can hear it in this video, but you know, it had a nice rumble to it, and you know, right away I could tell yes, that's how this bike is supposed to work. It was smoother, it wasn't coughing, it wasn't backfiring. I mean, you get a little bit of that, but you know, Ducati, I expect it not to be insanely smooth. That's just the way they are. But you know, I asked on the forum, and they were like, "Oh no, that's the way they are." I was like, "Nah, I don't think so." So anyway, so I got the stock exhaust back on, and I'm probably going to keep it on because it just seems to work much better. You know, I could spend the money and get it remapped, and then you need to put a power commander on and spend $1,000 on that. You know, really not to get any performance, only to make it sound and maybe look a little bit better, and some weight savings. But anyway, so I've had this bike for a couple months now, and I love it. It's so much fun. It's, oh, there's Floyd. Hey, buddy. It's so light. The bike weighs, I think, 372 pounds dry, I think, somewhere around there. And the bike has about 100 horsepower, which I think was sort of a first for Monster. It was like the first Monster to get up to 100 horsepower. But at 372 pounds, or whatever it is, it just has so much torque, and you know, that just makes such a huge difference. A light bike and 100 horsepower is awesome. So it's got plenty of power, it's fast, it's very agile. You can move this thing, you know, wherever you point it, it's gonna go. Sounds wicked. I just love it. It's so much fun. There you go.